today we're gonna read The Magic Tree as Merlin Mission Book 17, A Crazy Day with Cobras. And today we're gonna start reading at chapter 5, Not Funny. And the end reading at chapter 6, okay? And now, already read this one book with a lot of stories, and now here we go. And first you can read is The Magic Tree as Merlin Mission Book 17, A Crazy Day with Cobras. Chapter 5, Not Funny. The tall guard escorted Jack and Annie out of the back door of the hall and into the walled country yard. The other ambassadors were already entering the palace quarters on the far side. Jack was so frustrated, he barely noticed the crimson and purple flowers bubbling fountains and dancing water pools into the courtyard. All he wanted to do was get back to the treehouse. Their mission was done. He tried to think of an excuse to get away. Annie, he whispered. But now Annie was walking ahead and chatting to the guard. Where do you royal women and children live? She said. The guard had pointed to the palace quarters on the left side of the country yard. Jacob noticed Bali women had peeping out from behind the arched windows, and Annie had waved at them, but the woman moved out of sight. And the guard escorted Jack and Annie out of the country yard and drove the quiet passageway. The passageway led to the chamber, lit with the brass lanterns and hanging from the wall. The guard handed them each the silk coat and a sash, and a pair of pointy shoes and a jeweled turban. What's this? Annie said. Jack asked. Gift from the Great Mole. You may change in here. The guard said. Oh, thanks, said Jack. The guard had pulled aside curtain to reveal a small space like a dressing room, and Jack and Annie had stepped inside, and the guard had pulled the curtain shut, and Jack had waddled around to Annie. This is awful, he whispered. We have to get out of here. Calm down, said Annie. We don't have a choice. She rubbed her hands over to her purple silk coat. I love this clothes. Oh, butter, said Jack, sighing. But he took off a hard jacket and pulled on his orange coat and tried to sash. He definitely felt cooler in the soft silk coat, but the puffy pants made the coat balloon out of his waist. I really hate this, he groaned. Don't worry, we'll leave right after the parade, said Annie. Oh, she has tucked her braids under an orange turban. Do I still look like a boy? You look ridiculous, said Jack. You both look ridiculous. We have to make some excuse so we can leave. Don't you want to see the parade? Asked Annie. Not with the person who kills you if you speak him or bow the wrong way, said Jack. Maybe we don't have to bow again, said Annie. You're missing my point, said Jack. He put on the blue turban, and then he took off his buckle shoes and pulled to the pointy slippers. And Jack and Annie looked at him and laughed. Not funny, Jack said. Well, don't forget, we have to run into trouble. We can always drink the potion and make ourselves small, said Jack, and get squashed by the mole's guards. No, thank you, said Jack. Annie laughed again. Not funny, said Jack. The impartial guard pushed to the curtain into the dressing room. "Come with me now," he said, and Jack and Anya followed the guard out of the chamber and down the hallway with the palace. "Remember, don't talk to the other ambassadors," whispered Jack, "and never, ever say anything to the Great Mole. Promise?" "Don't worry, I don't want to do," whispered Annie. "Oh, I know what to do," whispered Annie. Jack and Anya followed the guard through the other chamber out of the wide shaded balcony. The balcony overlooked a river and a sandy shore. The Great Mole stood near the railing balcony with the impartial guards surrounding them, thwarting him. The ambassadors stood into the row behind them, and Jack was relieved to see that they too, and were wearing pointy shoes and silk clothes that stuck out. And Jacob gestured to Jack and Annie to stand behind the ambassadors, and he hoped to none of them would try to talk to him. And he was relieved to hear the trumpet suddenly bearing with the drums blowing. All the men stepped forward to watch the parade. The musicians came first. The hundreds of them marched in formation down the flat, sandy shore between the palace of a river, and some are blowing long golden trumpets. Others beat drums tied around their bodies. Dozens of flag bearers followed the musicians, and their red and yellow banners are waving the hawk's dry wind. After them came and rode after the tall road and elegant horses with the golden birds, and some are the dark gray, and the others copper-colored, milk white, or midnight black. 100 urban horses of impartial guard announcing to the ambassadors, the most beautiful animals in the world. Jacob glanced at the Great Mole. The ruler was coldly watching to the parade. And the next came carts pulled by white oxen. Riding onto the cars are cheetahs and red, tan fur and black spots, their gold collars glaring in the sunlight. 100 cheetahs, announcing the guard, the fastest land animals in the world. And came rows of elephants kicking up the sea dust, and they looked like a fleet of gray ships. 100 of the elephants caught into the wild, said the guard, the largest land animals in the world. The elephants are gold chains to the silver belts around their necks, and the top of their head were covered in their fancy fried cuff, and their backs there was the straw of carriages to the rider's side. Wow, elephants, said Annie. Her eyes are shining. Shh, we can't talk, whispered Jack. Elephants, oxen, the horse, all step into time by the beat of the drums and blare of the trumpets. Suddenly the music was interrupted by the wild sharks, and not the sea sharks. And below, the Great Mole with the guards with ambassadors all moved to the better view. Jack and Annie stood there tip-top to see what's happening, and Jack could see the elephant half broken out of the line left to parade. The guard was struggling to capture it. The elephant had reared up his hind legs, and when its rider to trampled up the carriage on his back, the elephant was making the terrible noises like a screaming trumpet. What's happening? What's making that noise? Said Annie. An elephant, whispered Jack. Oh no, said Annie, and Jack had grabbed by the arm. Don't say anything. Don't do anything, he whispered. Think of Penny. I hate it when animals are hurt, said Annie. She pulled away from Jack and slipped through the row of ambassadors. Jack moved after her. Annie, come back, he whispered. One of the guards saw Annie hanging through the railing was a grateful stoop. He had quickly stepped forward of her. Excuse me, sir, I'm worried about Elephant, Annie said in a low voice. What's wrong with it? She tried to escape, the guard said. They were capturing her now. What's going to happen to her? Asked Annie, trying to look around the guard. She'll be punished, said the guard. What? Said Jack. Oh, said Annie. Why? And she had failed to show respect from the great mole, said the guard. What? Annie said. Annie, Jack warned, but Annie didn't seem to hear him. That's crazy. She's just an animal, she said to the guard, her voice was freeze. Annie, quiet, please, Jack said, and the impartial guards to another ambassadors were looking at Annie's alarm. The worst of all, the great mole was staring at her too. Now it's chapter 6, Morning Breeze, and tomorrow we're going to start reading chapter 6 of New Book and New Stories, okay? Now, did you have fun? US English Country to come back with some of these book or new book and new stories. Now, please don't forget my YouTube and bye-bye, everybody. Have a nice day. Bye.